Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. It is time to get ready for dinner. So tonight I am doing eggplant and mushroom flan. Flan is another name for a quiche. So quiche is a pastry with stuff in it, eggs and milk to make a filling. Once the filling's set, cut it up, serve it with salad or chips or whatever you want, and it's ready to go. So here is what we need. Couple of other things. We need our oven on 200. We need a fluted round tin or a dish for the quiche flan. I'll call it a flan because that's what it is. A tray to bake the eggplant on, and some pastry beads and some foil. Come on in and I'm going to explain all the ingredients to you. Okay, so I'm having a little bit of a lazy day today, and then I've looked at the time and gone, oh, if I want this for dinner, I better start it pretty soon. So let me go through all the ingredients with you. One large eggplant, needed to be 275 grams. I have not weighed it, but whatever that is what I'm using. 175 grams of frozen short crust pastry. Fortunately enough, back when I did the episodes with where I was making pastry, I had some left over, and yes, I'm smart enough to actually write how much it weighed. That's 200 grams. I don't care that it's 25 grams over. That's using that up. That's fantastic. 2 eggs. 2. 300 mils of milk. I am still using the Long Life Aldi one, lactose free, light. There's nothing in there really, so a new one as well. 75 grams of grated cheese. I keep that in the freezer because I don't eat much cheese unless I'm cooking with it lately. Salt and pepper. And 100 grams of small mushrooms. There might be more than 100 grams. They're not small, so I will have to slice those. But they would be better if they were small, so fear not. A round fluted dish. That's predominantly what you would use for doing a flan or a quiche, with the little ridges around the side. If you don't have that, something round is fine, or square if you want to make it square. This is just for cooking the eggplant. Rolling pin, because we're going to get rolling our pastry. And as mentioned, pastry beads. I don't always have a lot of success with these, but this recipe actually tells me to put foil or baking paper on top, so who knows, it might be a first time for everything. Alright, so first step before we do anything at all, oven onto 200. We want to bake this in its skin for 20 minutes. So give that a bit of a spray, chuck that in the oven, and we will return. Okay, so while that's going on, we can get the pastry ready, because we are going to do what is known as blind baking with the pastry. That is the whole reason for using the beads. The reason why you use the beads is so that while the pastry is cooking, because it's got nothing in it, it's going to try and rise. And with the weight of that on it, it's going to go, stuff you, I'll just stay as I am. So grab an area where you can put your pastry down flat, bit of flour down, and we're going to get ready to roll that pastry. We want the pastry to line this tin. So I'm going to grab some flour, clean down my area, and I'll be back. I'm just using a bit of margarine to grease the flan dish, just so it doesn't stick. A long time ago I had one of these, which was a whatever they use for baking dishes, metal or some sort of stuff. that had the base where if you pushed underneath it would come out and everything would be fine, but unfortunately when you buy cheap shit, they rust, so that is why I'm using this one. This dish we've had for a long time. We did have two, so this is one of my ma's dishes, but I've always loved using this one for quiches and flans and even some frittatas. So, because I like the shape that it gives you with that little ridging, it makes it look really professional. So I've got that. All I need to do, I've just been weighing everything out while I've been at it. All I need to do now is just weigh out some cheese. So, as usual, I get sidetracked very easily. I know what I need to do, but I just do 500 other things in the middle of it. It's probably a normal thing. So, probably not normal for me, or people that know me know that I do that, but it's all good. 75 grams. Oh, we're nearly there. There we go, perfect. Now, that's going back in the freezer. I've been thinking about the mushrooms because in the picture they've left them whole. They are really big. So I think I might still leave them big, but then they're going to look like bobbing ships. I'll see when we get there. Alright, so I'm going to go pop this in the freezer and get this cleared down. Okay, so you don't need too big an area because keep in mind you're only rolling it out big enough to go into the dish. You're not rolling it out to, I don't know, make 3 or 4 layers of it. So pop down a bit of flour. I'm just hoping this is defrosted enough. It's very weird. We always have a few really hot days where you could get something out of the freezer and it'll be defrosted in no time. And then we have other days where it gets so cold where you need your electric blanket back on and 4 layers again. So this has been in the freezer. I don't know how good it's going to be, but as I say, at least I'm going to get it used up. Otherwise, it's sheets of pastry, which I have been known to use, but I'd rather use this up. Okay, so we just want a little bit of flour on there. Alright, if it fails, then I don't know, I'll just have to go back to the drawing board, as they say. Alright. It has defrosted, which is good. Homemade pastry is so much better, but sometimes you just don't have time to make it. Even this recipe is suggesting that you use your frozen short crust pastry, which would be your sheets anyway. So most of the times when you're doing a flan or a quiche, I believe there is now, I think it's Pampas brand, please don't quote me, does a larger piece. So you'd only need 1 piece. A lot of the other recipes actually tell you to use 2 sheets. But to me, I would just use the 1 sheet. I can use 1 sheet with that dish. There is a way to do it where you actually just cut the corners off and press them in, as a little tip that my mama showed me when she used to help me cook. This is it's rolling, it's just going to take a long time to get it to that size. But anyway, we're getting there. So when you're rolling, it's important to sort of try and keep flattening it. And this rolling pin, I don't know where we got it from, but it's so good. It's very heavy and it gets the job done really well. Just going to try and move it that way a little bit. Alright, beautiful. Alright, I'll be back when this fits that. Okay, so when you reckon you're pretty close to it, because once again there is a way how you can make it fit, roll it onto your rolling pin, face it somewhere towards the middle of the dish, and as you can see it's nowhere near the right size. However, never fear, because what we can do, slide it. Alright, now wherever it doesn't fit, grab yourself a sharp knife and cut. Now we want to go right up the sides, so cut, basically just shave it back, because we want to make the most of these flutes. Yeah. We're going to shave it back like that. That part's good. Push it in there. Alright, one more bit. Okay. Don't be stressing. See this? Press it in. Just press it into where it doesn't fit. It's easy. It's that easy. Same thing with the sheep. You're going to put it in, you're going to have corners cut over, cut it, press it, you're good to go. Cooking is rewarding because to me, it's like you're overcoming challenges, you're looking at something and going, how am I going to make that work? How can I fit that there? So just got to get your noggin and your brain working, and if you're not really up to it, just got to give yourself a little bit more time, because if you can do this, you'll find that you'll feel good because you can do it. Alright, so there we go. Might not look pretty, but who cares? We're going to be putting stuff in it. So next what we need some foil or greaseproof paper. I'm actually going to try the foil this time. I have a feeling the foil is going to be the better option. I can bet you I'm out of foil too, by the way. Oh no, I think that's going to work. Oh, look at that. Brilliance. Absolute brilliance. Now, just put that in like that. And then get those pastry beads. If you don't have pastry beads, I used to use just rice for a while. Quite simply, obviously don't eat the rice. You just put it back in after. And then when I was in Spotlight one day, I saw these and I grabbed them. And unfortunately, I don't have good results with these. I have a feeling it's because once I didn't put something like foil down. I think the other time I tried the baking paper. So I'm going to see how I go with the foil. As they say, third time's a charm. And let's hope that's our charm. Alright, so we are waiting about another 3 minutes. Once the eggplant's done, this is going in for 15 minutes. Once the 15 minutes is up, we are taking off the beads and the foil. And we're going to reduce it to 180 degrees, and then we're going to start our filling. So, I will be back soon. Okay, so I've just done a switcheroony. The eggplant is out of the oven. The pastry is in. As I mentioned, the pastry is in for 15 minutes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut the eggplant and we're going to scoop all the filling out. It's probably going to be very hot, so my suggestion is to grab your oven mitts and grab a bowl to put all the filling into. Alright, and a knife, of course. Alright. Probably the best thing to do is to get it out of the hot tray first, and then that way you're not dealing, it'll cool down a lot quicker. Alright, bye-bye tray. Off you go. Alrighty. This is the first time I've scooped the flesh out of an eggplant, so come along for the ride, I guess. Alright, cut it. I'm just hoping it's pulpy enough. Only one way to find out. It still feels a bit firm, but I think we'll be alright. So, well, whatever we put it into, we are going to be pureeing this. So, Mr. Food Processor is going to come for a ride. Probably use a smaller knife than the one I'm using, but anyway, this will do the job. Okay, good. It's not super hot as I do this. Yeah, it probably could have done with a bit longer. Mainly because the recipe tells me that it should be like a pulp. That is not a pulp. Pulp is where it's already like liquidy. As I say, I'm not too stressed about it because it's going to be cooking. Food processors can do amazing things anyway. Probably the hardest thing is just going to be scooping, but that's easy. It's cutting away so easily. Ow, it's still hot. I have sometimes I have tough fingers, sometimes I don't. Alright, don't think we want that little bit on the end. Okay, and then the bottom half. So yeah, if in doubt, do it this way. Now don't be fooled, because if you have a look, there's a few layers to being what is considered the inside and what is the skin. So, don't want to go too far down. It might be a bit bitter otherwise. Alright. See, that's the skin there. That should be fine, that bit as well. Yes, I was sort of imagining getting a spoon or something and just scooping it out like passion fruit, but not the case. It's going brown very quickly on the inside, which is a bit weird. Alright, I'll cut this up again like this. Sort of hollow it out quicker this way. That's it. That's a quicker way to hollow it out. Alright, that's that piece. Just do this one, and then I'm going to get Mr. Food Processor. You can come along for a quick journey. Beautiful. Alright. So I guess in a way the eggplant is going to be a puree, which will help thicken it slightly. Alright, so that is what we're pulping. So I'm going to get the food processor. I'll be right back. Okay, so Mr. Food Processor is here to save the day. In it goes. Alright, let's hope this works. it will work, but what I mean is that it goes pulpy enough. Because this is an old food processor, I like to keep stopping it. It's working. It's working fine. All right. It's got one bloody stubborn bit that is not breaking up. So ideally, while you are spooning it out, or like I did, try and cut it up a bit as you go, if you can. It's not the end of the world if you can't, but you'll end up with one little stubborn bugger like him. I'm just going to get a knife and just push it all down. Try not to use this knife, but grab like a butter knife or something, or a spatula. Okay, it's amazing how the eggplant goes brown very quickly. Okay, so when the pastry is ready, that is going in, so I will be back soon. Okay, while we're waiting, we'll get the mixture ready. So grab a whisk. We want 2 eggs, so I'm going to crack one at a time into the cups. One in one cup, one in the other cup. Beautiful. Bye-bye eggshells. Chuck one in, chuck the other one in. Right, we'll just give those a quick whisk. Beautiful. Mix in the milk, which was the 300 mils. Pop in your salt and pepper. Give it one more whip with the whisk. By lid. I have the dropsies. I like a bit of pepper. One more whip. Alright, now once you put the cheese in, try not to use the whisk, otherwise you'll be picking cheese out of the whisk. Alright, perfect. Set that aside because we're going to need that very soon. I'm still trying to work out what I'm going to do with the mushrooms, whether I'm going to cut them. I might cut them in half, and then that way they can sort of lay down. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I can smell the pastry, which is a good sign, because if you can smell something, that means it's cooking well. Remove it from the oven, obviously. Turn the oven down to 180. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to get the pastry over to here, and we can't just put the beads straight back into the thing. Oh, I was going to use a slotted spoon, but that's probably easier. Just onto a tray. Let those cool before you put them away. So our pastry is looking okay. Excellent. Keep in mind that's very hot, so don't just go touching it and picking the tray up as if, you know, you haven't put it in the oven at all. Alright, so first up, we're going to get our eggplant, which has gone brown, but I guess that's normal. And I want something to spread it with. Alright, here we go. Try and do the eggplant maybe when you've got the pastry out, because I guess while it's still wrapped in its skin, it still would be cooking as well. Anyway, spread that out as much as you can. Feels like every time I spread it, it all goes the wrong way. Okay, close enough. All right, next up we want to put our liquid on the top. Pour the mixture over the top. As you're doing it, just pause for a little bit, let it just rise, and then keep finishing it off. Ideally, try and spread the cheese about, or you could do what I normally do and put the cheese on at the end. It's another way of doing it. Alright, now the mushrooms, ideally if they were small ones, you would be putting those in, like placing them around, but because I've got the larger ones, I'm going to just place them on top like so. This is going to cook for 30 minutes. So in the meantime, while it's cooking, I would suggest that you maybe grab a salad or pop veggies on. I'm probably going to try air fry chips in the air fryer for something different, because I haven't had those for a while. Alright, I've got a few pieces left over, but that's okay. Alright, I will see you in half an hour. So there we have it, looking all yummy, golden brown on top. This has been eggplant and mushroom flan. I hope you enjoy this one. Thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. I will catch you on our next adventure.